All right, welcome back. We're going to talk today about, we're going to continue the converting over from Windows to Linux and the software applications. What I'm going to talk about today is the graphics application, so stick with me. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the one that everyone refers to when they're talking Linux stuff, and that is GIMP. So I'm going to open that up here and just give you a quick looky-loo. GNU image manipulation software. So we're on to version 2.8, and right now I've just opened it up, and I can open up a new image here. Let's go File. Actually, I'll bring one in just to show you the basics here. What have I got? Alright, screenshot. There we go. So what we've got here is SpaceX. I can crop and resize that how I need to, move it around. Alright, that's where we want it. So I don't know a whole lot about GIMP. I don't really use it. I use a different program called Krita. I'm a Photoshop guy, and GIMP is capable of everything Photoshop is. It's just laid out a little different, and it's a learning curve. So I've used it for a few things, but not for a whole lot. But there's all sorts of tools and things available. I'm just going to click off of there. Measuring tools, cut and paste, foreground select, dodge, burn, clone, fonts, text. Let's throw some text in there, and let's make it bring it up to there, make it a bit of a off red. There we go. And you can move that around again. Oh, sorry. Move that component. Oh, I think I did it on the same layer. Like I say, I'm not super handy with GIMP, but it's got all the tools there. So anyway, I'm going to actually close that off and show you the other tool. Now, there are people that can do every single thing they want in it, and with a little bit of practice, it's not that hard. A few years ago, I actually gave it a shot, and it was fine, but I was always being a Photoshop guy. I kept going back to Photoshop, so I'm going to close that. Discard changes. Alright, so the other one that I like. Now there's also in Inkscape, and there's a few built-in tools like Pix, which is just a picture viewer. But Krita is the one that I like. Inkscape is more like an Illustrator program. It's more for the vector art sort of techniques, I guess. I'm not sure how you describe it really. But I'm going to close the intro, and I am going to go create from clipboard. Create. Bang. So it's going to be, it should be about the same size as my picture here. Insert as a new layer. Oh, I painted on there. Edit, undo. So I'm on the paintbrush tool. So let's just bring this over this way. So you can see that it is much more laid out like Photoshop is. So depending on what you're used to, of course, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to just throw a box in here, and I'm going to call this Hello World, and I'm going to make it 18, and I'm going to go with a nice red again, just because. Oh, there we go. And then, where's my Move buttons. And I can put that where I want it, just like you would in Photoshop. So can also add effects and things and whatever. So let's go filter. And GIMP has these as well, and just not as good with them. So I have to select my back layer, filter, and color transfer, lens blur. Sure, let's go with a Gaussian blur. There we go. So we've really blurred the background there. Now we're going to select the vector layer, flatten image. Now we're going to go sure, raindrops. There, now our whole thing's filled with raindrops. It's like, but as you can see, just like the filters are in the same place they are in Photoshop. The layer tools are in the same place as Photoshop. Image tools. It's like everything is pretty much there in Krita. Now, the nice part about Krita is if I do new layer, if I close it down again here, just going to close it off. No, I don't want to save it. No. And I open Krita up again. There are templates for all sorts of things. And this is where Krita really shines. I mean, yes, it has most of the features that Adobe does, Adobe Photoshop, but it also allows you to create new, and I can go down here, I can create an animation template, I can create a comic book template, I can have different ratio design templates, even DSLR templates, which I've never worked with, but you could have templates for the formatting that each of your cameras puts out, and then also texture templates. So if you're building textures for making like 3D Studio Max or Blender texture files. So there's all sorts of things you can do, and not just the basic standard documents. So I'm just going to open a comic template, use comic book style template, use this template. And there we go. We got our comic book boxes. So now we can paint away. Mr. Stickman. Mr. Stickman puts his other arm out. And Mr. Stickman puts his legs out. You get the idea. So anyway, and it is also a very versatile painting program, much like Corel Paint for anyone that remembers that program. So it has a lot of customizable brushes and things in there. This one's kind of cool. I don't know when you would use it, but I thought it was kind of neat. And it basically just lets you do uniform patterns 4 ways, so you could do neat spirals or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it would come in handy for some people, more artistic than I am. But anyway, that's my basic dive into the graphics programs available. So when people say, oh, there's only GIMP, and it's not the same as Photoshop, it's like, no, it's not, but it can do 90% of what Photoshop can. And then you've got Krita, which can do the missing stuff, plus is a closer layout to what Photoshop looks like. So although I'm not really that deep into graphics on the Linux system as of yet, I've only touched the surface, I can tell you that the software itself is more than capable, readily available, and you're not paying for your subscription fees with Adobe. So it is very capable to do advanced professional graphics in Linux. So hope you stick tuned for my next video where I'm going to cover 3D animation software. Thank you. Have a good day.